Genda kunominatinga ku Lwakubiri nga 23 era oluvaayo nga Museveni bw'alina rale Kololo naffe tulina rale Katwe bwe tuve Katwe tugenda Nateete.
There will be no processions, there will be no people, a gali, there will be no gali. You will announce where your rally is and you drive there straight. If the people are there, they will listen to you and then they go home.
Bobbi Wine has come out to warn General Museveni and his stooges like NOBERT MAO that he's going to hold a rally after nomination because there is a plan to block Bobbi Wine from holding a rally. Not only his nomination rally, but there is a plan to block all political activities from within the Kampala metropolitan area. And the regime is hell-bent on crushing every dissenting voice. This was communicated by NOBERT MAO, who came out to say that they are going to make people quiet. And if he comes out to say that they are going to make people quiet, it means killing. Even Bobbi Wine appears not scared because sometimes leading a revolution, you must be fearless. You must be able to sacrifice, and the ultimate sacrifice is death. Before I proceed, let me first play a tape as Bobbi Wine was warning the NRM regime. Here is the tape.
Genda kunominatinga ku Lwakubiri nga 23 era oluvaayo nga Museveni bw'alina rale Kololo naffe tulina rale Katwe bwe tuve Katwe tugenda Nateete. Bannayuganda mwenna musobola kino kikola buno buyinza bwammwe guno mukisa gwammwe buli kye mugenda okukola okutandika ne ku Lwokubiri kigenda kubeera mu mateeka saagala mutiisibwe. Eno embeera temulinda Kyagulanyi yekka gye bateekerawo, nammwe musobola okutandikira yonna gye mutandikidde. Bwe yeetegese okubeera sireevu tetuli mikwano gyo. Bwe yeetegese okubeera sireevu tetuli naawe, genda ewaka. Oyo atya ekkomera bino biveemu, bino bya ddala, ffe tugenda mu bya ddala. Nze ng'omuntu nkimanyi era twafunye information tibeetegese okukwata buli muntu yenna neetoolodde ne bwe nnaaba nyina kulinnya booda njaggirinnya mazima gannanokuma. Temugenda tisatisa, temugenda kutusayira ensinga. Mwenna bannayuganda mbabuulyanga pulezidenti gwe mwalondera gwe mugenda okuddamu okulonda. Obuyinza baabumpa nange mbubawadde, buli omu alina obuyinza. Babakinako obuyinza tebabatiisatiisa, temutiisibwatiisibwa ne bano bapolitician be baaguze tebalina gwe boogerera mweyogera.
So that is Bobbi Wine. Those words were fearless. You see Bobbi Wine in a picture of a lion ready to go on. It's prepared to face danger, the danger of the dictatorship. What is the purpose of all this if the regime cannot abide by the laws of the land? Why does the regime continue organizing elections, the same election they cannot abide by? That is my problem. To an extent that the opposition leaders speak as if they are making their will. This must stop. Okay? It must stop. It must not be allowed to happen in this country. So remember, the nomination is going to be there on 23rd. I think they are going to be there on 23rd. And you could clearly see even the Electoral Commission is siding with the regime, because the modus operandi has always been like, when a president nominates, he goes on to hold a rally, the first rally, and the campaigns begin. This time around, the nomination is on 23rd, I think, this month. And the campaigns are going to start, I think, in November, if I'm not mistaken. I think after 1 month. Where do you see that? Okay? So the regime is hell-bent in fighting Bobbi Wine. To an extent, even if they have a chance to take his life, they will do. Because the CDF has always come to warn that he's going to arrest Bobbi Wine, kidnap him. They are on X handle. And what's more, a person who once I like how he handled issues. I kept on telling people that nobody Mao going to government. It was a gap in the opposition. However much the differences we had. Museveni is using the wise NOBERT Mao to become stupid by announcing terror on Ugandans. NOBERT Mao came out to say that they are prepared to kill each and every Ugandan who comes out to speak against change and do procession. Yes, it's the means of justice. A person who studied law, a person who has ever been incarcerated by the regime. In fact, Norbert Mao said these statements. Here's tape.
It is the microphone which matters. The elections are going to be peaceful. There will be no processions. There will be no people, a galley. There will be no galley. You will announce where your rally is, and you drive there straight. If the people are there, they will listen to you, and then they go home. Then on election day, people will vote. This is going to be the quietest election you have ever seen in the world. It is going to be so quiet, and those who don't want it to be quiet will be made quiet.
That is Norbert Mao. It's so unfortunate that the Minister of Justice is coming out to say that this election is going to be quiet. And those who want to make it unquiet, they will be made quiet. Literally meaning they are going to subjugate, kill people who come out to speak, refuse people from making procession. Because he also came out to announce that there will be no procession in the country. That there will be no procession. He announced that.
Elections are going to be peaceful. There will be no processions. There will be no people, a galley. There will be no galley. You will announce where your rally is, and you drive there straight. If the people are there, they will listen to you, and then they go home. Then on election day, people will vote. This is going to be the quietest election you have ever seen in the world. It is going to be so quiet, and those who don't want it to be quiet will be made quiet.
Okay, it means that in an election, it's not going to be an election, it's going to be a selection. Campaigning means processions are part of campaigning. Merrymaking, moving along with your supporters. Now, if you come out to say that there will be no procession, that you will be announcing where your rally is going to be. It means that even when you announce your rally where it's going to be, they will even disperse it. Normally, even processing, even if they refuse you to hold a rally, at least your people have seen you. This comes from the Minister of Justice, who, by the way, knows the law, who knows everything, is coming out to speak trash to countrymen. Norbert Mao, how many times have I called you? Do you know how much time it will take to build another Norbert Mao? When this one is being taken to waste, Norbert Mao is like a proverbial story in the Quran and the Bible of King Solomon, where two wives came with a child, everyone saying that it's hers. King Solomon came out to say that let's cut him into half. The owner said no, at least take him. The one who was never the mother of the child wanted the child to be cut. So Norbert Mao, since he doesn't have a vision of becoming the president, that even that in the third position it was overtaken by events, at least he rather sacrificed the whole revolution to General Kaguta Museveni. By speaking that, shame on you. Shame on you. I pray to all Ugandans to stand up and understand what's going on in the country. Other than we are going to cry. The good thing, even Robert Kyagulanyi understands the assignments. He went on to say these things. The video is 3 minutes, and I want to listen, and I want you to listen to it. Here is the tape.
For every 5 years, we have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, an opportunity to rally Ugandans to change things, not to just rally Ugandans to go to an election. There were many questions, and many of our friends were challenging us about the election, knowing the kind of election that happens under a dictatorship. But we said this time around we are going to have a protest vote. It has been 5 years, but now it is less than a week before we take the first major step. Ladies and gentlemen, we said it before. I presented myself. I was endorsed by the National Unity Platform and many Ugandans, and here we are. We are going into an election.
So, first of all, very many people come out to say, whenever I speak about elections, that if the elections are sham, then why do you continue participating in it? I tell them that if you grew with your stepmother and is planning not to give you food, you cannot come out and announce that, don't give me food, because it's already in the plan. If General MUSEVENI is planning a sham election, you cannot give him that satisfaction. You must fight it, because human rights, constitutionalism are agitated for, they are not given. Let's continue.
Day is happening next week on Tuesday. But before you clap, I want us to imagine what kind of election we are going into. I've personally been having sleepless nights, long thoughts and long prayers, praying for myself, my comrades, my family, and my country. Why? Because the kind of election that we are going into, ladies and gentlemen, is no usual election. It is war. We are going into something that we don't desire, but we have to go there because it is our only fighting chance. One writer said that even if the chance is only 1% success, it's worth fighting. So now we are going into a fight where the regime in power has tried to tilt everything against us, but we are going to win because we have God on our side. So the kind of election that we are going to, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you had doubts, if any of you didn't know what we are going into, I'm sure you watched Museveni's Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, NOBERT MAO. For a long time we've been telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that the regime is not strong on its own. It cannot enslave us unless if it uses us or some of us. For a long time, so many of us had doubts, but finally it has been made very clear to all and sundry that this election, number one, is going to be between two sides, the oppressor and the oppressed. In fact, the oppressors and the oppressed. Now, don't get me wrong, the oppressor is not just Museveni. Because the devil does not come on earth to tempt people. The devil uses people. Museveni does not personally come to hoodwink us. He uses people, he uses.
So that is Bobbi Wine as he was coming out to announce his strategy. And trust me, Ugandans must learn to fight for their rights. If the right of another is being taken away, and you say, maybe it's the other, the day when your right will be taken away, you have no one to fight for you. We must return to sanity. We must return to constitutionalism. We must return to human rights and stop these abuses. We are backing Bobbi Wine in the presidential election come 2021-26. Of course, as my opinion, remain yours truly, Mr. Makindi, Kabye Sulaiman Mawagari, the next MP for Makindi East constituency. I will see you on another one. Peace.
Soka kapene guno mukisa ombaka abadde kuyalagidde mutagenda kudda kubanga ndowooza oba omugugu gwamuyitiriddeko naye ate yimiridde wano nga ngamba omukisa kubanga n'ekibiina tukiwewuddeko kubali kusitole wadde baga tiketi yanyeeko tiketi ya Kabye Sulaiman naye kati andekedde waazi ndi wano wentimbaza nenda bayitako supiidi ng'ekizungirizi basewo ne bajawulize maaso gammwe kubanga ensonga nzitegeera.
Yes, Kabye Sulaiman Mawagali. I am putting in my request to fly the NUP flag high in Makinde East constituency so that I can represent the great people of Makinde East. Nkomyewo omulundi ogwokubiri n'obwongo nga bwesera nga busera ebiwandiiko byange mbirese bibino.